No, it's time! No, come back.
Oh my god.
Yeah!
But this is somebody who has asked multiple times for the percentages of rolls, and we believe in the exchanges between him and Joris, it shows that this was done to rig outcomes.
In light of more news coming out regarding Phantomlord's lawsuit against Twitch, I think it's time to review what he has impacted and discuss the potential impact of his actions that affect us today. James Phantomlord Varga started as an entertainer, but not on Counter-Strike. His beginnings came from 1.6, Team Fortress 2, and Quake, but his breakout was through League. After climbing the ladder and connecting with some of the top players, he played professionally for Team V8, later known as Ordnance Gaming. Late 2014 to early 2015, he made a transition to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Phantomlord would still play League, but not anywhere near the level he was before. The desire to maintain his level of play was gone. With the professional grind out of the way, he had much more time to stream, and to stream what he wanted to. This is where the trouble all began. At this time, Phantomlord was still opening CS cases. With the introduction of skins in the Armsteel update on August 2013, the whole market idea was starting to take off. CS was steadily growing and becoming a household name in PC gaming. Skin prices were maintained, and other limited items like stickers were actually making people money. With this evolving hype around skins and gambling, Phantomlord took full advantage. During the latter half of 2015 is when CS Shuffle became a household name in his stream. And today, a household name in the CS community. By bringing some of his League fanbase over and becoming one of the biggest bettors, his stream and YouTube started to take off. While he was never the biggest streamer on the site, his 30,000 viewers back in the day was massive for a Twitch streamer. Hosting massive giveaways, gambling more money than people would even dream of risking, and honestly being a great entertainer. He was set. Not everyone can control themselves though. You see, most of these wins weren't even real. The losses weren't even real. Pretty much everything on screen during this time was an act. The origin of the percentage question mark meme was from Phantomlord messaging Joris. Using the percentage, he could figure out if he should bet early, near the middle-ish, or late. If 3 people put in $100, the first person to enter the pot would win if the numbers were 1 to 33, and the same is repeated for other bettors. Using these numbers, if it has been a bad night, you can now top up by waiting for the perfect time to deposit. If you know the next roll is 1%, you throw in a big bet right away. Other bettors will see your big deposit and try to get in, but they don't know you already won. There are many other ways that it could be used. This is just one example. We don't know if he only used this to win small pots, or if all of his big wins were rigged, or somewhere in between. Judging by the logs though, his fake wins were a common occurrence. So how did Phantomlord, who was doing this on stream for close to a year by the time the news came out, get caught? Very simple actually. A hacker. Who would have thought that a hacker would have better morals than your favorite streamer? After an anonymous hacker got access to Joris's logs, he looked around and found the secret conversation that he was having with Phantomlord. The anonymous hacker originally intended on getting information about the site so he could steal money. Not exactly noble, but regardless, the hacker took this information and contacted Richard Lewis to break this story. This is how a hacker delivered the final blow to an empire. Just a month before the Phantomlord ordeal, faze were exposed for having ownership in CSGO Wild. A few weeks before, Syndicate, Josh OG, and Tmartn were exposed for having ownership in CSGO Lotto. Despite all the big names I just covered, nothing hit as hard as Phantomlord. Sure, the CSGO Lotto and CSGO Wild stories were bigger, but both of those cannot actually be confirmed scams. These individuals likely had access to the backend, but nothing has actually been exposed. By watching the videos and streams you can make your own conclusion, but there is no hard evidence of rigged bets. The Phantomlord story? That exposes everything. There is no way to weasel out of this one. It was time for Valve to take action before they get forced to. Between all of this information being exposed and a lawsuit, Valve took action. 23 gambling sites were given cease and desist letters. These sites were given 10 days to shut down or get shut down. In typical Valve fashion, many of these sites were still operational after 10 days, but that wouldn't last much longer. Sidetracking for a bit, does anyone remember when CS Empire tried to give away their bots on the second ban wave in 2020? The guy that won the account had it deleted on him, and his main got banned. Back to it, gambling sites one by one started to shut down or get their bots banned. Good news for the children who gambled on these sites and the integrity of the scene, but it wasn't all great. The player base dropped by 32% in 2 months, and the skins went with it. If you were someone that was still hopeful in the market back in 2016, I'm sure you're happy now. Props to anyone who held through this time. I don't think I would. When looking into some more reliable information regarding the skin prices at this time, I found a great section of a video from Quad MFT.
Go skin crash of 2016. Basically the past 2.5 to 3 months when skin prices have gone down steadily, like heavily, like especially really common skins like Op Asimovs, AK Vulcans, common knives like M9 Dopplers, Karambit Dopplers, things like that. They've steadily declined between like 25 to 45%, which is insane.
So, the player base almost got cut in half. Creators have stopped streaming and making videos about CS, and every common skin is down massively. If you were someone that was still hopeful in the market back in 2016, you made the right call. Near the end of 2016, not even a full year after all of the drama and uncertainty, certain items were already stabilizing and back on track. With the player base rising again, the pro scene slowly seeing new faces, and loyal fans still making content, we got to where we are today. It's funny to see how defensive people are over Valorant. With all that CS has been through, the game is borderline immortal at this point. Regardless, we did lose a section of the community despite success throughout the years. We lost the clout. The big losses were the faze guys and some of the other YouTubers like Tmartn and Syndicate. Phantomlord had a big fan base, but it was mostly native to CS. Everyone else I listed came from the COD and Minecraft community, and their audience was massive. While they all made multiple videos about CS and streamed it, the conversion rate seemed to be very low. If more time was given, these guys would have potentially ended up playing the game and actually getting people into it. And I think to myself what CS would look like if all these people farming gambling content were actually able to continue. Considering how shady all of it was behind the scenes, the reality is the entire skin market would be shut down after the 300th lawsuit and 1000th scam, but it is interesting to think about. If you enjoy these types of videos, let me know in the comments below and give me ideas for the next video. If you enjoyed this video specifically, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.